Hello everyone, welcome to Building the Ultimate Matchbox Car Collection. My name is Tyrone and today I have a show and tell for you. And a little something extra. I've set up this. At long last I've figured out how I might display some of the many things that have been sent to me by friends of the channel. This one from Brian's Diecast, Thailand. Did a fantastic resto. So first I thought about just popping them up there, but this one's mean black, so it got lost in all the other blackness. So it evolved to that. It still needs a white backing, I think, so it doesn't get lost. Maybe that looks better. Maybe if we bring that down there. That's an improvement. I'll work on that. And also, another friend of the channel, Paul Sparky Sparr from Cuxhaven, Germany, sent me in this one. It's a 95 Nissan hardbody, heavily modified for the worst of conditions. And will that get lost against the red now? Not really. But it does need its own little base. So I'll put that up there, try and keep it all symmetrical. I managed to reattach some bits that fell off. Actually, I think this one survived intact. But this one, from, as I check over my shoulder at paperwork, the next one was sent in by Sparky, but it was made by Falk Seltman of Model Autos Dresden. I did have to reattach the little rhubarb and the antenna, and that's a heavily modified Frontera. So being white, that doesn't need its own accessories, but it does need to be symmetrical. So that is that. And a very random, should we get rid of the Matchbox sign altogether, or how are we going to do that? I don't want to put it somewhere where it's going to fall off and damage the set. So what I think we'll do, get rid of that. Let's get rid of that altogether for this one. And move these along here. Geez, thinking on his feet, isn't he? And will that still be... It's important that the word Alabama stays in shot. There we go. So I've got a little bit of 100 mile an hour tape on the back of that, so it behaves itself. Ah, we're looking good. Can afford to go a little bit further over there, and yeah. And who else sent me? Who else sent me? Well, we can't forget Joe from XLT Off-Road Bear, can we? I've been looking forward to ripping this sucker open ever since it arrived. A number of weeks ago now. And Joe, if you're watching, I am learning. I've pre-cut this one. I pre-cut it on the sandwich board in the kitchen just now. Very careful I was too. But we'll get that one open right now, I think, before we jump into, I think everything else is Matchbox. But this one is a 1/64 scale diecast metal limited edition American Muscle Mustang, 1969 Mustang Mach 1 to be exact, from Ertl Collectibles. Given to me by Joe from XLT Off-Road Bear in, I always want to say upstate New York. Why am I struggling with this? It's already ripped open. Yeah, I want to say upstate New York, like Joe lives in a Nelson DeMille novel. But he's in southern New York, I understand. Now, the object of the game is to keep the card art, keep the card, so, like a professional. And I definitely want to keep that. Oh, that all comes out as one. Don't care about the plastic. Oops. So yes, I'll keep that. Maybe that can go up there. It's going to be out of shot, I'm sure. Oh, gee whiz. See what happens. Maybe there. Alright, let's get down to business. Yeah, I really want you to keep this because these make ideal bookmarks for catalogues. I have a Mercury Cougar one from Joe, and now I have a Mustang one. Yeah. And it can go elsewhere. Let's take a look. Now, Joe being Joe sent me this before he had one in his collection. And nice to see that he has replaced it for one that will stay in his. Whoa. My very last video had a Matchbox Mustang in similar but not the same colour green as this. I won't get that out now to compare because this one will just show it up. And I'm actually a big fan of Matchbox, so I don't want to do that. But just feast your eyes on this beauty. See how... Actually, I better look at what you're seeing. See how detailed the interior is. Those wheels just look the bomb, don't they? I love it when opening parts close properly. This one's got a boot. That opens. They all have boots, but not many open. Oh man. And closes really nicely as well. Good to see. Oh man. I want to bring out all the other Ertls, but we'll do it on the other channel. Yeah, man. It's a lot to live up to. As I peer into the box of Mainline Matchbox, actually there are some pretty cool pieces in there. But that, my friends, is an Ertl. Check out Ertl if you haven't already. Not sure if they're made yet, but you can still get them on online. Joe can get these for me, and I appreciate them very much. Thank you, Joe, and thank you, Brian from Brian's Diecast Thailand, and Volk Seltman from Model Autos Dresden, and Paul Sparky Sparr from Cuxhaven, Northern Germany. Oh, and David Johns from Twice Diecast in Alabama. All of these are my brand new YouTube friends. Some are not brand new. I think I've known, let's see, I think my very first YouTube friend was actually Diecast Dude. He reached out to me when I was just starting out and helped me out with many a tip that I've lived by since. But the first person who contacted me as a trading partner was David Johns, and we have ramped it up every time. Every time we've packed something up and sent it off to each other, we've ramped it up like schoolboys, much to the horror of our wives. Let's get on with some Matchbox. Let's just get on with the Matchbox. This is number 56 of whatever number they were playing with that year. This is a Camaro Police Pursuit. I'm thinking, well, that doesn't go well, does it, when I guess? I'm better at the 80s stuff. Certainly better at finding the year. Excuse me. Gee, can you see the year? Because I can't. I can see many languages. Should we just make it up? Should we just guess? Oh, there we are. 1995. Gee whiz. So 96. Let's get it open. Never mind being too careful. I don't want to keep these boxes. Okay, so we've got those swirly wheels. I picked this one up online, I believe, but it's hard to know because so many things fly in nowadays. It is honestly very hard to keep up. Made in Thailand. But yeah, I just wanted one of these because I don't have one. What other excuse is there? So I'm not sure we should put anything next to the Ertl because that's going to show us all up. Let's put it there, underneath the Alabama license plate. I was going to say flag, but here is a flag, and with the assistance of some 100-mile-an-hour tape. Flag sent in by Joe from XLT Off-Road Beer. Isn't it wonderful how you just fall into a hobby and everybody befriends you and sends you stuff? That's what you're seeing in front of you, except for this. All of these things were sent to me by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people from all around the planet. What a wonderful community. I say it a lot, and I really mean it. What a wonderful, wonderful community. Should we stick with police cars? Why not? Why not? I have this one already, but it's a police car, so you're allowed to have as many as you like. 1987, so 1988 release. Love these blue boxes too. They hold their most memories for me. That's when they started to get a little bit too expensive for me to collect with pocket money back in the 80s. But things change, don't they? And if your hobby stays the same, all of a sudden you have the means to buy whatever you damn well want. So here it is, about my 3rd or 4th or 5th maybe of this one. LTD police car with the, get the knife out of the way, probably need it in a second, with the radar there for speed detection. Not all of them have it, but this one does. And also those bodies on the front fenders. Such a classic for Matchbox. And yes, we got another one. Don't judge. And this will be from the mid-90s if the other card was anything to go by. So, any differences at all? There's probably a handful of years in between them, but they managed to stay the same. Yep. Just to add to the fleet. And with a change of tack, we'll go for moving parts. Took me an age to find this, and I was scalped, but, you know, do you get scalped or you go without? This is a 1988 Chevy Monte Carlo LS. So let's get him off the card. A lot of packaging. Oh, baby. This feels very Hot Wheels to me, but I don't know if they shared the casting or this is a specific casting for Matchbox. I don't care. I've got a Monte Carlo in the collection now from Matchbox. I love this car. Dodgy looking steering wheel, but that's alright. It's not a premium. Didn't cost an arm and a leg, or shouldn't have anyway, although I did go to a scalper. Wasn't in a back alley or anything. It was not that seedy. Oh, I was going to say it even has suspension, but it doesn't. It just rocks on its axles. So that's looking fab. One of these from the truck series, dinky little thing. I have the white one of this, and now the red one. So that's good. Subaru Sandbar truck, if you can call it a truck. Not really an F350, but can't find this one. It's a Holden Ute, and this is Australia, so if you see one and you manage to leave Kmart or Target or wherever without getting your eyes gouged out, well done. But I haven't found one, so that's that one. And the Land Rover's back, the 2018 Land Rover Vogue SE in white. This might be about the fourth colour of this I've got, and they just look, I was going to say something else there, they just look stunning together. So I was very happy to pick up a white one. Pearly white. Clunk. It feels a bit narrow to me, but I don't own a real one, so I can't rush out and check the dimensions. So they look great together. And that's not all. I feel like a kid. And that's not all. And just wait till you hear this. This is a Cadillac CTS wagon. And that's not all. You can get these others, but I have this one, so we'll have a look at it. This is a run round all over town to look for item, and then the week you give up and you're just randomly looking, you find. It's all down to luck, isn't it? Unless you pay top dollar to buy the whole set online. But that's looking good. I have an orange one with orange wheels, and this is definitely a welcome change. So that's the Caddy. And this one, speaking of caddies, it's the Beast. Not much to say about it, other than it's the President's ride. They're not officially calling it the Beast, but, you know, look at it. Weighs about 400 tonne. It's nuke proof. It's got 3 spare Presidents in the boot. And they're officially calling it Cadillac One, like Air Force One, I suppose. But let's rip her open and make a big deal of it, because it's the President. Whoa. Yeah, that's the Beast. I was in, here's a travel story for you. I was in, shall we go down a floor? I was saying, where the heck were we? Slovenia? I think Slovenia. We'll bring on some police cars to protect El Presidente, because he's worth protecting, I think, isn't he? Depends who you voted for. We'll bring in some cops. Oh, did we show these ones? There we go. Because you've got to have some odd ones to welcome in the new fellas. There you go. Done properly. Laid bit properly. Yes, story time. I was in Slovenia with my darling wife, and we were trying to cross the street unsuccessfully. We looked both ways and held hands like you're supposed to, and off we went, and we were stopped by a local policeman, and he said something in Slovenian, I suppose. Certainly wasn't English. And then more cops arrived and more people got stopped from doing their everyday business. And lo and behold, President Bush went past. So that was weird. So that'll date, I guess, what year we were in Slovenia. Or was it Slovakia? They're right next door to each other. We drove from one to the other. Was it Bratislava or was it... It was Ljubljana in Slovenia. There you go. My memory fades. Tyrone forgets. What else do we need to... There was a helicopter in the air. That's a bit over the top, isn't it? You wouldn't go that low to freak everybody out. Surely that would bust shop windows. But yeah, we were held up for probably half an hour. Simply, we just wanted to get back to the car. When you get to a city anywhere, if you've hired one, you get as close as you can to wherever you're going and dump the car in the city, because cars are useless in cities. You're just going to be in traffic. So we were walking back to the car after having a very long, almost marathon walk around Ljubljana city centre, and we wanted to get back to the car and leave, but we were prohibited from doing that until President Bush and his many, many cars followed or went past. Do we need SWAT? If things get really heavy, we will. So we'll swap out the many for the big guns. So yeah, that was a little bit of unwanted excitement for our day in Ljubljana. I don't know what year that was. I would be guessing 2011. No, I'd be guessing. Who knows? Whenever Bush was in power, that's what happened. That's when it happened. So, helicopters. I'm going to do a big to-do on helicopters soon, because I've recently got my grubby little mitts on many different variants of this one, and I love this helicopter. Just another backstory. This one here got me hooked on Matchbox helicopters when I was a young'un, early 80s, so maybe 11 years old. And I'm not sure if I should be telling you this story, but I'm in a chatty mood. My first one was a news helicopter, but, whatever. But in this casting. And it was sort of leading up to New Year's, and I went into my mum and I said, "Mum, my jaw hurts. The lower half of my face hurts." And she goes, "What have you been doing?" I don't know. She said, "Oh, go outside and play." Isn't that what Mum and Dad always say? If you've got a problem, they question you. What have you been doing? How can I make this your fault? So I went outside, and I was befuddled, sore face. And then I picked up my helicopter and I went around the backyard. Then I realised I'd been doing that since Christmas. So mystery solved. Face got better because I stopped doing that. Confused? Anyway, time to wrap this up before it gets really silly. So thank you, Joe. Thank you, David. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Fault. Thank you, Sparky. Shall we go upstairs to the crow's nest to make sure the president passes safely? Nobody shoots at him. Well, it was a very long overdue show and tell. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll leave a link down below in the description for all other channels involved in the making of this one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.